What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. Today we've got a reading on abundance. Now, I don't know, I might title this one Money, but kind of Spirit was kind of, yeah, Spirit was kind of like nudging me to call it like more on abundance opposed to money. I think money kind of limits it a little bit too much, but this is definitely to do with like flow. You could say the flow of like wealth or the flow of kind of more material things. I think it kind of tracks back to the fact of like how spirit, I guess this makes a nice introduction, how spirit was giving it to me is that spirit was kind of saying like it's not that the material things are bad, it's that the way the way that we attract material things is it's kind of like a little bit like a trap. Like, mm, I'm just pausing on the energy a little bit to get a little bit more clarity on this. It, it's quite funny. The analogy that's coming through here is like Tourette's, and obviously this is not throwing shade at anyone with the Tourette's conditioning, but it's spirit was giving me like uh, you have to pay attention to how you manifest things, especially materially, because it puts your consciousness and even possibly your mind in repetition. So what God was showing me was that let's say um, okay, it's coming through now. This is deep. This is deep, y'all. I'm channeling crazy today, in a good way. Like, for example, the person who goes to the casino and bets on certain numbers and wins the jackpot, they now believe that they can do it over and over again in that way. And spirit is like that's the trap. It's that the human mind conditions itself that once it finds a way of something working, they think that that's the way that it will continually work. When like spirit is saying that it's in many ways it's nothing. It's not anything to do with the casino. Uh, do you know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with the person going into the casino and betting. That's why they got that money. And spirit's not even giving me a definitive answer on why did that person get it, because I was like, what is it, divine timing then? And I'm just getting like, no, it's more complex than that too. Um, but do you see what I mean? The person gets caught into the trap, and it doesn't matter. Like, people may um, turn their nose up at the fact of, yeah, now that person's become uh, addicted to gambling. But what people don't realize is that your job can be the casino. Like, pause. Damn. Like, what makes you think you're any better working in that shitty job for money, or making the world a worse place in that industry that you're working in, than the person betting their life in a casino? You know, you don't know the butterfly effect is what spirit is giving me here. It's like the person who thinks that they're really moral because they got their 9 to 5, but they're working as a secretary, but they're working as a secretary in a bank. and that bank is built upon the blood and suffering of other people, and on top of that, they're completely corrupt in how much they give back to their community. And on top of that, do you understand? And their families come from a corruption of suppressing people. Just give and painting the picture here. And then you got this poor dude or female in the casino, and they could be completely breaking their inner family, but like the damage kind of stops there, you know. So it's like, yeah, they've completely fucked over their family environment. They've had to remortgage the house. They've had to sell all their items because this person's addicted to gambling. But it's kind of a smaller bubble that's affected by that than you might realize. And Spirit's kind of given me that as an example of why we shouldn't be quick to judge. We sit on our high horse sometimes, and we don't realize that butterfly effect of what we're doing, who we're helping, who we're aiding. And I guess that goes for me on this channel too. Not even I know the effects of the information I'm giving to people and how it can sit in the wrong hands and the right hands. So, yeah, Spirit was giving me that. Like, I know it's a bit of a lengthy introduction there, but like, it doesn't matter if it's the casino where you're making your money, or as the secretary in the bank. The error that we have as humans is that when we do hit a break, now it doesn't matter if it's the jackpot or the pay rise, we tend to attach ourselves to whatever we did there. That's the thing that works. And the masculine energy is probably even more prone to this than the feminine. So that's why Spirit is not kind of making this as black and white as I personally want to make it. So it's going to be on kind of manifesting. We're talking about money here, or at least Spirit's correcting me again. Like, we're talking about the abundance of things coming to you. And yeah, hopefully that was a nice backdrop or a nice introduction anchor to this reading. I'll get stuck in, I guess. Pole number 1s, pole number 2s, and pole number 3s. I hope that introduction made sense for people. If it didn't, then too bad. See you in your pole. Pole 1s. Sit on the energy, pole 1s. What do you see? What do you feel? So what I'm getting here is that pole 1s, you need to focus on, there's one main thing in your life. This is almost like a therapy session, feels like. Cut down. You can give me a tip, y'all. Pole 1s. God damn, this is a therapy session. Spirit making me do free therapy sessions. Fuck you. Shit. Oh, God. All right, love and light, love and light. Part number one, so sit yourself down. You can at least buy me a beer after this. Part one, right? Sit yourself down. What we got here in your energy is there's one big thing in your life, and I have got no idea what that is, but you do. Part number ones. I don't know what it is, but there's one thing above all other things, in terms of your abundance at least, uh, which is like it's like the elephant in the room is what spirit's given me. It's the elephant in the room. There's one thing that stands out more than anything, and spirit is saying to me they know what it is, but spirit is not letting me know what it is for some reason. Again, maybe it's too specific to you, and it's just going to confuse people if I just start talking about a bunch of things that's not your thing. So a bit of background noise there. So to me, it would be like it would be like let's say a childhood wound. But I'm getting more of like almost. Do you know what? I'm actually getting more of like a conversation. There's a conversation that's been had, which this could be to do with like it could be to do with like your confidence for some people out there. I know I said I wasn't going to give the example, but like it's giving me a. I'm getting. It's coming to me like as a cloud for some reason. There's a cloud like of information coming, and inside that cloud is a vision of conversation, speaking, and it's like someone has told you, for example, that you can never do this thing, and that thing is maybe exactly what you're meant to be doing, but it's like the equivalent here of like, if someone said, if, it would be like the kid saying, I want to be an astronaut. I know many people don't want to be an astronaut, but like it's their cousin or their brother, sister, mother, father just laughing at them at that statement. But like, no, you actually were destined to be an astronaut. Like, someone's got to be an astronaut out there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the older we get, the more we realize that, yeah, like the dreams we have can come true. Like, someone's got to become the billionaire. Someone's got to become the world-known singer. Someone's got to become the greatest inventor of our generation. Someone's got to come up with that new app that changes the world. Someone's got to do it, haven't they? And the more you grow older, the more you realise that there's people who just gave up on that dream, and then there's people who went and got it. So part number one's like, that's basically your message. It's I think I've given you the detector of where this huge indent is in your life, where it's stopping this kind of direct flow coming down. It's more to do with a conversation. It's more to do with what someone said to you, possibly in your past. And it's really big, it's really clear, it's really, like, when you actually think about this, it's gonna really dawn on you. It's really gonna, like I said at the early part of this reading, it's an elephant in the room. So part ones, I hope that kind of helped you. Hope it pointed you in the right direction. Remember to like meditate on it. Kind of think about what I'm saying here. Certain conversation which stands out upon like any other conversation. To do with essentially, I'm getting it more strongly now. Like crushing your dream, and that dream is the thing that you're meant to be doing. You know, and just have a sit on that because it's like the way that our dreams look when we're children, for example, um, they do have their limitations because the world changes. So let's say, for example, um, let's say you grew up and you wanted to be someone who designs phones. Now, when I was growing up, the phones that were out were like mainly Nokia's. They definitely weren't iPhone. iPhone weren't even on the scene. So if I wanted to be a phone designer back when I was a child, I would have imagined me designing the old Nokia phones. But Spirit's reminding you that look how different phones look now. So you might have to just adjust how you thought something looked back then into what that might actually look like now. So that's what Spirit is reminding you of. Like, if you wanted to be a fashion designer and you really liked, I'm trying to think of something that's not very fashionable now but was back then. But it's funny because everything comes back around anyway. But like, you know, the clothes is a good example, but I just can't find the right example. So let's just say, for example, it was like neon trainers. I'm not saying they were ever a big thing, but like you might have been focused on designing these neon trainers, and in the current year, neon trainers aren't a thing. So you just adapt that to what your current interests are, what the current technologies are, but you kind of just sprinkle that little bit of love from back then into what you're doing now. Um, and I think that will kind of give you some. I think that's kind of going to help you thread all this together. Pile number ones, it's that your childhood dream. If you kind of just think back on it as something that was how it was meant to look back then, you'll kind of just let it go to waste. But if you update that with what you know now and the technologies of now, you're going to see that thing be birthed in a beautiful and wonderful way. So part number one, so that's your reading. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. See you in the next one. Sorry, pile number twos. The light has completely changed. Don't know how we can do this. If I can, do I just keep my pen in the camera or something? Clearly just getting distracted. File number twos. I'm just gonna leave it. Um, just sitting on the energy. I was getting a few things. I was getting like almost like pharmacy vibes. You know, like when the rod is uh, got the snake wrapped around it. And I was also getting tiger. Very different from pile number one's, this reading. I was getting almost like the tiger's stripes. So I feel like your abundance here is something to do with health. It might be, I've got two options here that Spirit's given me. It might be to do with like when you take care of your health more, your wealth comes storming in. So that's option one. And then option two is that you might actually get your abundance from something in the health field. That's the second option. See how that resonates. So it's taking care of your own health brings in your abundance. Almost like God saying to you, like, I'm not giving you that thing you want until you take care of yourself. That's option one. And option two is that like you just might literally be in the health field. If that's your doctor, a nurse, almost a therapist, nutrition, fitness instructor, the list goes on, right? Nutritionist, if I didn't say that. Working in the alternative fields, if I didn't say that too. There could be something there which you're creating or producing which brings in your abundance. And I feel like with the tiger, I'm also getting the download of like tiger's eye, which is a certain gemstone that might be quite helpful for you to manifest. I'm getting that in a way which is like pole number two is quite exact, but like if you get the tiger's eye, it's not just about keeping it in your pocket or having it on your shelf. It's about holding it and saying, God, how do you want me to manifest? And then with that alchemy of you holding the stone and putting the intention out there, that frequency is going to give you what you need, give you the message that you need in order to implement. So pile number two is it's not just about you, like I said, having it on your shelf or having it around your neck because it looks pretty. It's the intention that you put into it. So I think there's something there for you in terms of bringing in what you desire. I don't know, I think that was it, pile number two. So I'm not going to ramble. I think we kind of got your message out there. It was a quick, short and sweet one, as I say. But I think you kind of got what you needed there. So I'm going to move on to pile threes. If you like the video, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pile number threes. Some interesting light going on here. What do you see? What do you feel? Quite interesting how the light's reacting there. Someone's shedding light on something. Something that is kind of coming through here, pile number threes, is it's almost like a leveling up. Smaller, larger, and then large and even bigger. And there's kind of almost a comedic, and there's actually like 3 light orbs here too as well. So 333 might be important to you right now. But what I'm getting is that kind of Spirit was focusing on the fact that this is where you are, and it's like this light is actually moving during this reading, and it's moving up a little bit towards that next lump, and it's almost like, for me, it's giving you a message here on the stages of your abundance. I feel like your journey, Palfreys, is to do with stages of growth. Um, this isn't the story of someone who just immediately came into wealth. This is the story of someone who learnt the skills bit by bit. I'll give you a good example of this is in some of my businesses. Like, I remember when I first started my own business, I literally, um, well, it's quite hard to explain because I was making money in different ways through my businesses, and I still am. But I wanted to share this with you that at least one of my businesses, which was more e-commerce based, I literally sold products for so cheap to start off with, talking like $1.99 type products. And that wasn't necessarily because it wasn't anything to do with like me not necessarily believing in myself. It's just I wanted to make a product that nearly everyone could afford. That was actually my incentive behind it. And the beautiful thing about that was that, well, for one, you learn a lot. You learn that when you're selling a product that cheap, you really do need to sell a lot to make money. And then you also learn the fact of like, it's a good way to start selling something because you're starting off with something which is affordable to people, right? It's not a huge expense to people, and obviously, that depends on what part of the world you're living in and your current financial situation. But generally, $1.99 in dollars or pounds or euros isn't a huge amount of money, isn't a lot of money. So you learn the game a lot with that, and as I progressed, I started to create products which provided more value, what therefore could be marked up at a higher price. And that journey in itself, again, it teaches you another lesson. It teaches you that, okay, this provides more value, but with that higher cost, there's maybe a less amount of people who are willing to invest. So yes, you make more money, but the customer base shrinks down a little bit. And then the higher your price goes up, the more that happens. When you put it even higher, then your customer base gets less, but your return gets higher. And I feel like part number 3 is, Spirit just wanted to share that. Spirit just wanted me to share that with you so you can understand, like, possibly your journey a little bit too. Is that in each leveling up, there's huge lessons, and there's a time and a place for everything too, right? So me now as well, it doesn't mean that I would never go back to selling products that are $1.99 because there's a time and a place for it. But what it does give you is it gives you a well-roundedness of understanding different types of market, different types of people, and when to apply the different tool for the right job, So point number 3 is that's pretty much your reading. I feel like that doesn't just apply to you if you're entrepreneurial or in business, but like just how you're accumulating that wealth or whatever it is to you that you're trying to be abundant in, is that there is a staging process to it. And as you level up in these different stages, they're going to give you different knowledge, And like I said, you're going to understand, you're going to have different tools in your tool belt, and you're going to know when to pull them out for different occasions. We're going to use that tactic for this. We're going to use this price point for this. And that can even apply to how you save too. You know, I'm going to put this amount in this type of investment, because you understand the risks and the stabilities of different markets, different systems. Hopefully that made sense to you, pile number threes. If you appreciated the video, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.